It was August 28, 1993. 11 months ago, I was just married, and I was out with 3 friends of mine, and we decided to go mud running. And we were mud running till wee hours in the morning, and probably drank a little too much. And on the way home, eventually we all fell asleep driving. And we hit a tree. Hit a tree on my side of the truck. I was the passenger. And I remember waking up at the scene with somebody trying to jam something down my throat. And I remember saying, "Knock me out first." And he says, "There is no time."
So when Dad arrived, I said, "Hey, he's at the hospital." "Yep, we know, honey, that's where we're taking you." So it was to keep me calm until they could come get me. So we went up together, and then you get the room to the side with the doctor alone thing, and then you get the news that there's been an accident and it's very traumatic and critical. All these words just are thrown at you, and you don't really know what's wrong, but you know it's a big thing.
And I said, and I guess there was a helicopter ride involved. But the next thing I knew is I was in Butterworth, and I'm seeing my loved ones come in and out, and I'm just not sure what's going on.
It's surreal. You think, this is crazy. This isn't supposed to happen. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. So I can't really remember what it was because it's just very traumatic, and you just feel bits and pieces of the day, and you can't put it all together.
A little bit down the road, I spent 6 weeks in ICU at Butterworth. And I remember the day they told me that I was going to be a quadriplegic, and there was no hope for regaining any of my strength back. And that was a sad day.
And the first thing that I thought of was, well, are we going to have any children? You know, and just our daily lives, how is that going to be so different? If he's never going to walk again, what does that mean? Everything is totally different just from one thing.
I remember me and my wife sitting in there in that room all by ourselves, sobbing, just thinking, what do we do? Where do we go from here? What's our future going to look like?
Before we got married, we were doing you have to go to church because the pastor is going to marry you thing. But then as soon as you get married, you don't have to go anymore. So we just quit. So we hadn't gone for about a year.
And the marriage was pretty rough. That 11 months wasn't all sweet hugs. And I dare say if it was going to continue that way, there would have been a divorce somewhere down the road.
My dad was totally supportive. All our friends and family were there by our side. But then my mom came to town. She lived in another state, and she came to stay with me for 3-4 days to see Wes and see how I was doing. And she'd already been divorced before. And so when she spent the night with me, she confided with me, "You know, Lisa, nobody would hold this against you if you just walked away from the situation. You didn't sign up for this when you got married. You had bigger dreams, and this is what you had planned is not going to happen." So she says, "I wouldn't hold it against you, and I don't think anybody else will." And I remember saying to her, "That's not an option for me. That's not what I did. I said for better or for worse, and it's worse, but it's going to get better, and I'm sticking it out."
I tell you, when I had that accident, it was like the scales fell off of Saul's face.
But then as soon as the accident hit, you're like, well, I either am going to be bitter or I'm going to get better and turn to God with this or turn away from him. And we turned to him. So our faith got stronger. We went that route. I'm glad we chose that route.
I seen life at a different angle. I seen how fragile it was. I seen how close to death I was. And I wasn't quite sure if I was right.
5-10 years after the accident, it was like always on the anniversary. August 28th is coming. We're all going to be boo-hooey and complainy for a day, and then we get over it. It was just like a pity party, like, why us? But even with the yuck, we have so much more blessings that because of it. And I don't know if anybody can see that, but we can see that our life is better in so many ways than it would be had we be normal.
How?
We spend 24 hours a day together. Our family is never apart. There is nothing that he does or that I do that each other doesn't know about. And you don't get that in many marriages. There's nothing to hide. And we are each other's mate, so we know everything. I mean, we don't complete each other because only God can do that. But there's just nothing. We aren't two. We're one. Is that a way to say it, maybe?
Sure, I can't walk. I can't give you a normal handshake. But I got a mind. I got a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. I got everything that I need. I don't have to go run a marathon. I'm going to do that when I go to heaven. You won't even be able to catch me. I'm going to be running so fast. But I am content. God has given me the peace and comfort that I need to be able to sit in this chair.
We did have kid. We didn't have it by childbirth, but we still have kid in our life. So it still happened. It just happened different than we thought.